There we go. All right. So, welcome everybody, and thank you for tuning in today. The session that I've been tasked with covering today is the basics of Lionism, and we're just going to kind of hit a little bit about the individual clubs, and possibly I can get my screen to move. There we go. So during our meeting, if you could please mute yourselves to enhance the learning experience of everybody else. Um, please hold all your questions until you're prompted or to the end of the presentation. Um, we'll have plenty of time for questions, I think, at the end. And if you have questions later, or if you would just like to send something privately that could be answered later, you can send it to my email at lionmtg@gmail.com. And we have a lot of learning opportunities on the Lions Learning Center on lionsclubs.org. Just go to the member login, and then once you log in onto your Lion account, select Learn, and that will get you to the Lions Learning Center. And there are a lot of different courses on there for you to take. And some of them you might find a little basic, and you might find some of them a little advanced, but I'm sure you'll find something in all of them to come out with a little more knowledge. So our objectives today is to learn the basics of Lions Club and your club and the multiple district and Lions Clubs International, their structure and our leadership. And then we're going to try to learn what the myriad of Lion acronyms mean. And there are a myriad of them. So our standard club structure, which after your district governor, you go around and visit the different clubs, you learn that every club is different. And the majority of clubs have different committees. A lot of them don't have these committees. They have other ones. As things have changed over the years, clubs have stuck with what they had before and have not moved along with. But this is just a standard club structure. It's not saying this is what your club should have or has to have. It's just a suggestion. So our Lions Clubs International has 40-some thousand clubs throughout the world. So they're different all over the world. They're different in different parts of Ohio. There's a lot of different things that you find. In Ohio, when we vote on things, the majority of the clubs, instead of saying aye or nay, say bite 'em. Why do we say bite 'em? Who knows? That's just our tradition in Ohio. The same with wearing red. Lions Clubs International's official colors are purple and gold. Lions Clubs uses a blue and a yellow color now, but officially our colors are still purple and gold. But in Ohio, our colors are officially red and white. That's why you see a lot of our clubs have red vests. And if you see Lions from another state or another country, they'll be wearing the gold vests. And there's all kinds. Some of the other multiple districts and different states have different colors as well, green and purple and blue and all kinds of different colored vests. But in Ohio, the majority of the clubs use the red vest. So in your club, your board of directors, usually you have maybe 2 or 3 sets of directors, 2 for each year, that serve a 3-year or 2-year term, depending. And all the club officers are on the board of directors as well, along with program coordinators, a branch president if your club has a club branch. And a club branch is just basically what that kind of entails is a club that is wanting to start, but they're not ready to be a club on their own. So they kind of fall under your club's umbrella, and you kind of sponsor them until they get the 20 members or more and are ready to become their own club. Also, the board of directors could be allowed to have a lion tamer, the tail twister, safety officer, or really any other elected chairperson that the club would decide and put in their constitution to have on the board of directors. The club officers, your immediate past president, who is automatically LCIF coordinator unless somebody else is elected to serve in that role for your club. The second vice president, some clubs have a third vice president, others do not. The club secretary, the club treasurer, the marketing communication chairperson, and of course your club president, who is also automatically the global action team chairperson. And the first vice president is kind of deemed to be the leadership chairperson. And the membership chairperson is just serves under the president and is one of the club officers as well. And so is the service chairperson. And then you'll see down below that, clubs should have like a standing committees of constitution and bylaws committee. And if your club's like my club, to my knowledge, since I've been in the club over 10 years, we've never met. We have a information technology committee, and it's a committee of one. You'll find a lot of your club committees, especially, are committees of one person or just a couple people. But the thing is, every club is different, and it's not saying one way is right or wrong. They're just different. So where does your club fit in? There's clubs, zones, regions, districts, multiple district, constitutional area, and of course Lions Clubs International. Well, we'll use Marysville Lions Club as a example. They're located in Marysville, Ohio, of course, and that is Zone 3, and Zone 3 is in Region 1, and Region 1 is in District 13 OH5, and District 13 OH5 is in Multiple District 13, which comprises all of Ohio, and Constitutional Area 1 is basically the United States and the islands of the Caribbean. There's a couple other areas in there, but it's basically United States and the islands in the Caribbean. And then, of course, Constitutional Area 1 is Lions Clubs International. So kind of a organizational chart of Lions Clubs International. You'll see at the top, we have the board of directors. The international directors, they're elected at the annual convention. They serve 2-year terms normally. This year, because of coronavirus and our inability to have a international convention, they're serving a 3-year term. So the ones that were on their way to go out this year will be elected next year. So that group that was to be going out at this convention just had an extra year tacked on to their service. And the executive committee acts for the board of directors when they're not able to meet. And then the international president is, he sets the executive policies, and administers the operation of the association in a manner which will further the purposes of Lions Clubs International. And of course, under him is LCI headquarters. And if you ever get a chance to go to Oak Brook, Illinois, if you're in the Chicagoland area, stop into LCI headquarters and they'll give you a tour of the headquarters, and you get to see where all the different divisions and so on of our staff at headquarters are at, and you can learn a little bit more about what they do. And there's about 300 employees there. So right in between the international president and the district governor, the president and the sets the policy for the year and so on, and that goes through the district governor. There's also the area leaders for the GAT, and they're kind of over on the side a little bit to help the governors be successful as they're being trained and coming up. And so there's an added layer there. Under the district governor, you have your first vice district governor, your second vice district governor, and your boy, English is my second language today, sorry. Cabinet secretary treasurer. And then under them would be your region chairpersons. And not all districts have region chairpersons. Right now, District 130H5 has chairpersons listed. Under the region chairpersons are your zone chairpersons. And they are the ones that communicate with the clubs the most. In Ohio, we recommend that the zone chairs visit each of the clubs in their zone twice a year. And they, when they're there and do their visitations, they bring information from the district, and they also take information from the clubs back to the district. Then the clubs. Really, when you think about Lions Clubs International, it is the club is what is the whole central to the whole operation. If it wasn't for the clubs, we'd need none of the other part of the organization. Is all to support the clubs. The clubs each year are allowed to send delegates to the international convention. They're allowed to send delegates to the district convention. To the district convention, they're allowed one delegate for each 10 members or major fraction thereof. So 5 or more gets another delegate. So if you had 15 members in your club, you would get 2 delegates. And then if there's any past district governors in your club, they're all automatically in Ohio or automatically delegates. So that's for the district convention. District convention would be where the district elects the district governor, the first vice district governor, second vice district governor, and also some of our foundations also get elected there as well, our foundation chairpersons. Zone chair people are appointed by the district governor. The delegates to the annual international convention vote on the international directors. They vote on the international president and on any constitutional changes that might be coming or be endorsed by the board. So the zone chairperson, as I said, is a main conduit of vital information from the district governor to the club. They are the go-to problem solvers for the clubs. If you find that you don't understand something in your club that's going on that maybe you would want an outside opinion on, or maybe somebody outside of your club to maybe point you in the right way, the zone chairperson would be the person to contact first, because they will really either refer you to the district governor or get you the information wherever you might need it. But the zone chairperson is a motivator, a counselor, and a communicator. If you have some kind of conflict in your club, some kind of conflict that's happening, a zone chairperson is an excellent person to have come in, hear both sides, and maybe make a little bit of suggestions of how you might get past that. The second vice district governor, they promote the goals of the governor and the international president and LCIF. They serve on the district GLT as liaison to the district governor, and of course they're expected to progress to governor. That's an interesting thing about Lions clubs. Our constitution provides for the district governor to be elected. The only person that is qualified is the first vice district governor, and the only person that's qualified to run for first vice district governor is the second vice district governor. However, the delegates to the district convention are able to vote no on a candidate if there is, for some reason, which I've never known it to happen in Ohio, but if for some reason the second vice district governor is not performing or not doing something that the delegates agree with, or whatever the reason might be, they do have the option to vote no. But the only person that is qualified to stand for election for first vice is the second vice district governor. So the first vice district governor also promotes the goals of the governor, the international president, and LCIF. They serve on the district GMT as liaison to the district governor. And they are expected, as I said, to run for governor. This gives them a chance to observe for the 2 years, to learn what the office of district governor entails, allows them to be prepared. And as this first vice district governor, in the winter now, they are expected to go to Oak Brook, right outside Oak Brook, there in Chicago, Illinois, and take training for several days to be governor and help them to be successful as district governor. So then at the end of their first vice year, the first vice district governor is expected to go to the international convention where they'll be installed as district governor. So the district governor is the CEO, basically, of the district. A lot of old school Lions would say that the district governor visits all the clubs in the district. And that's not a requirement at LCI, but it is a very good way for the district governor to be apprised of what's going on in the district. And so a lot of our governors in Ohio still do that. And so you can expect a district governor to come around once a year and visit your club. And they will give a talk on their program, what the international program is that year, and also what they would like the club to do and what the club can do to support the policies and programs of Lions Clubs International. So at this point, does anybody have any questions about the officers of the club or the district and what their responsibilities are, what they do, or anything of that nature. So if anybody does, if you could unmute yourself, or I'm going to say there's no questions at this point, so we will just continue on. So, Lions acronyms. What do all of those abbreviations mean? There are tons of them, and there's a lot more than what I'm going to cover today, or what we'll cover today, rather. So we've got just a few of them here. So if you hear about CA1, CA2, they're talking constitutional area. Constitutional area 1 is, of course, United States and the Caribbean islands. CA2 is Canada. And it goes on. I think there's 8 of them. The last one they've just created was Africa. CC stands for Council Chairperson. COG is Council of Governors. And Council of Governors in Ohio, there's 7 of them. And they meet 4 times a year. And there's one from each district in Ohio there that comprise the Council of Governors. And the Council Chairperson is over the Council of Governors. And by tradition in Ohio, the Council Chair is one of the outgoing, well, you could just say last year's governors. So one of last year's governors is this year's council chairperson, and one of this year's governors will be council chair next year. It used to be in our Constitution that it had to be that way, but we have since taken that out. And right now, any past district governor or district governor can be council chairperson. But by tradition in Ohio, we only have the immediate past district governor as a council chairperson. CST stands for Cabinet Secretary Treasurer. A CS or a CT would be if it was just one job for one person, whereas the Cabinet Secretary Treasurer is one person doing both jobs. DG is District Governor. First Vice District Governor, or first VDG, or one VDG, is the first Vice District Governor. F&P here in Ohio is our Finance and Planning Committee. GAT is the Global Action Team. GLT is the Global Leadership Team. Well, under the Global Action Team is the Global Leadership Team, the Global Membership Team, and the Global Service Team. An ID is a International Director. Now, behind these elected positions, such as President, International Director, International President, so on and so forth, if they're currently elected but not yet in, they'll have an E after their initials. And if they're past, they will have a P or a IP. So if you're immediate past council chair, you're a IPCC, which you can go on all day. Same way with governor and first vice district governor or second vice district governor. You can be an elect, and you would serve as an elect from the time you are elected at the district convention until the close of the international convention, or July 1st is what most people go by. My personal favorite acronym is IPIP, which is the immediate past international president. I told you there were a lot of these. and we've got another page to go. But international vice presidents, years ago there were 3. Then they took away the 3rd vice president and went to 2, and now we're back to 3. So your international vice president's IVP. Sometimes you'll see it abbreviated VIP, Vice International President. You'll see first like a FIP, or a second an SIVP, and so on and so forth. There's a myriad of different abbreviations for that as well. The Ohio Lions Foundation is a foundation here in Ohio that they provide disaster relief services for the blind and so on and so forth, and they're OLF. Ohio Lions Eye Research Foundation provides funding for eye research in Ohio at the different, I believe there's Case Western University and the Ohio State University. There's several universities in Ohio that have labs that have researchers that they support, and they've done several $1 million worth of support to these researchers, and that money comes from here, donations from Lions clubs in Ohio and Lions in Ohio. The Ohio Lions Pediatric Cancer Foundation is one of our newer foundations, and that's a OLPCF, and they're tasked with raising donations from Lions and the general community to support pediatric cancer research. If you've been in Lions for a while, you will soon find out with Lions, love pins. There's a pin for everything. The district governor, a lot of years, has a pin for their year. People just have a pin made. There's pins for achievements and recognitions, and just a pin for everything. And also there are people like myself who collect pins, and they have a pin collection. And past international director Steve Shear here in Ohio is really a big pin collector. And if you ever go to one of our winter retreats, or one of the Ohio Lions Pen Trader Club pen trades, you'll see just a small fraction of all the thousands and thousands of pins he has. The OLSHF is another one of our newer foundations here in Ohio, and that's for the Sight and Hearing. Sight and Hearing Foundation, they are working on getting towards having a central foundation for Ohio to provide surgeries and such, but they're basically tasked with all things sight and hearing right now, and they're working on building up money to be able to accomplish a lot of that. OSSB is the Ohio State School for the Blind. Though we're not connected, the Ohio Lions really do a good job for supporting the Ohio State School for the Blind. The Ohio State School for the Blind has the only blind marching band, and we were very lucky to have them march with us in the International Parade of Nations at the Lions Club's International 100th Convention in Chicago. And they were our band, and they're just amazing, the things they can do. If you ever get a chance, go on YouTube and look up them doing the Script Ohio, which is amazing. LCI stands for Lions Clubs International. And that just basically anytime they're talking about Lions Club's international headquarters, a lot of times they'll just say at LCI. Now, when you hear about LCIF, is a total separate entity than LCI, but it is our foundation. It is all Lions Foundation. MD stands for multiple district, and Ohio is MD 13, and that comprises all of Ohio. In the United States, most states have an individual multiple number, but not all of them. MDS stands for Multiple District Secretary, and MDT stands for Multiple District Treasurer. An MJF is a Melvin Jones Fellowship, and that is awarded by LCIF for a commitment to the foundation. And a newer abbreviation that even some seasoned Lions might not know is NAMI, N-A-M-I, and that's the North American Membership Initiative. And we'll be hearing more about that shortly. So PCC stands for Past Council Chairperson. PDG is Past District Governor. And the PDGA is the Past District Governor Association. PID is Past International Director. PIP is Past International President. And one a lot of seasoned Lions don't know is PMJF, which is Progressive Melvin Jones Fellowship. Now, a Progressive Melvin Jones Fellowship is awarded after someone has received a Melvin Jones Fellowship. So if you had received a Melvin Jones Fellowship from your club, or maybe you'd made donations and were awarded one for your commitment to the foundation, going forward, all Lions are encouraged to support our foundation with donations. And after you have acquired $1,000 worth of donation credit in your account, then you are eligible to be awarded a Progressive Melvin Jones Fellowship for your commitment to the foundation. So a region chair is RC, the RLLI, which is something as a newer Lion that you should look into participating in, is a Region Lions Leadership Institute. And in that institute, they will give you all kinds of information to help you be successful if you wanted to take a leadership role in Lions clubs. S&H is the Sight and Hearing Committee here in Ohio. SVDG or 2VDG is Second Vice District Governor. SVOSH is Student Volunteer Optometric Services to Humanity, and they provide optometric students provide to third world countries or other countries that are needy optometric services. As does VOSH, which is just Volunteer Optometric Services to Humanity. And when they do eyeglass missions and cataract missions and different things of that nature, and provide these services free of charge to people that need them. VCC stands for Vice Council Chairperson, and VDG just stands for Vice District Governor. And ZC is Zone Chairperson. Now, if you're not confused about all these letters now, hopefully that cleared it up a little bit for you. But if not, this is going to be recorded. You can go back later and use this as a reference You can also search abbreviations on the Ohio Lions website. So I spoke about the GAT, or the Global Action Team. And here's a little bit about it from the club perspective. The Global Action Team chairperson for the club is the club president. And under them is the GLT, which is the first vice president, the GMT, the GST, and the region and zone chairperson. The district Global Action Team chairperson is the district governor. And under them is the GLT district coordinator, the GMT district coordinator, and the GST district coordinator. Multiple district Global Action Team chairperson is the council chairperson. And under them are the state GLT, GMT, and GST coordinators. Also, you have the GAT area leadership. Ohio is part of the GAT area 1I, and that comprises Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. And then in the GAT, you have constitutional area, which is CA1, and right in the regional area leadership. So you have the Global Action Team chairperson, which is over the whole Lions Clubs International. And of course, ambassadors of the GAT are all the past international presidents, the International Board of Directors, and all of the past international directors, and all of the past district governors. Because after your district governor, sometimes you can find yourself without anything to do. And one way that you can still continue to support the association is by being an ambassador for the GAT. So the Global Action Team, which is the GLT, GMT, and GST. The membership team here in Ohio exists to maintain and increase the Lions membership in Ohio by providing tools and training for all our sub-districts and clubs. The GLT, their mission is to facilitate and identify development of present and future leaders for clubs and sub-districts within multiple District 13 by providing them with the necessary training, resources, and motivation to be successful in this task. And they present an RLLI most years to do that. And we sponsor Lions in the district to go to Emerging Lions Leadership, Advanced Lions Leadership, and faculty development institutes, and so on and so forth at the international level. The GST promotes service projects to the clubs of the district and works with the clubs to help them know to report their service projects on MyLCI, or MyLion now, excuse me. A lot of clubs do a lot of service, but they don't report it. And without that being reported, it really is hard for international to promote all of the great things we do. But you're just starting out, so you don't have to worry about that quite yet. So the LCIF district chairperson, they promote the accomplishments of the foundations to the club and the district, and they garner support for the foundation from clubs and individual Lions in the district. Your donations make a huge difference. The myriad of things that LCIF does, from disaster relief to eliminating river blindness, all happen from the donations of individual lions and from clubs all over the world. The district chairperson makes the Lions of the district aware of the Melvin Jones Fellowship Program that we spoke about earlier. And they collect the donations from Lions and clubs of the district and forward them to LCIF. The Lions Clubs International Foundation, they give sight, they support youth, and they provide disaster relief. They just basically address all humanitarian needs throughout the whole world. So more on committees. These are some of the committees of Ohio. I'm not going to read through all of them, but we have the Leadership Membership Service, Finance and Planning, Constitution and Bylaws, Public Relations, which should be Marketing and Communications. Apparently when I typed that up, I thought it was 3 years ago. International Convention Committee, International Relations, Lions Quest. The band is no longer, we Sight and Hearing, Youth Projects, Lions Alert, Campus Clubs, Club Bulletin, so on and so forth. So, do we have any questions now? We're at the end of our session here, and if anybody else has any questions, if you just unmute yourself and questions, comments, thoughts, anything?
You say this was being recorded, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this we
It,
can reference
it
back.
will be uploaded.
It will be uploaded.
It's to be uploaded this weekend.
Be uploaded this weekend. So.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, I think we met the objectives of this. We learned just a little bit of the basics of Lions Clubs and the multiple district and LCI structure and leadership. And we at least ran through what the myriad of Lion acronyms mean. And like I said, there are more, but we learned a little bit. And we also learned that bite 'em is just saying yay. So that concludes my portion now. I believe, hang on. And so thank you for listening in. And if you have questions or you want a copy of this PowerPoint presentation or anything, as I said before, you can email me at lionmtg@gmail.com. So thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you. The next one, there's a new link for,
just so you know.
Thank you very much.
It won't be, it's not going to be through the same link for Zoom. All right. I am, as the host, gonna end this
end this
so you can get to your next
so you
meetings.
can get to your next meetings.